Ladies and gentlemen, we're back. The NOSSCAR Elite Series 2019 season is underway. We're kicking it off in grand style with the Daytona 500. 200 laps. Daniel Harmon in the 62 car wins the pole. Welcome to the highlight reel from the Daytona 500. 13 drivers entered the event. And it was Daniel Harmon and Brian Wiggins in the 5 sharing the front row. Harm 1 Racing and Wood Dog Motorsports, well represented, as well as Lone Wolf Motorsports, Timac Motorsports, and RJ Haywood Racing. The green flag is in the air. Contact early between the 48 and the 25. The 25 is the new guy, the rookie, Rob Oglesby. Minor contact early. Fast forward a little bit here. Problems just in front of your contender for the championship. The 5 and the 74 make contact, and around goes the 62 of Daniel Harmon. 3-car wreck puts them under the caution for the first time in this race. Later on, you see a battle for the lead. Jordan Green, the defending NOSSCAR Elite Series champion, out front. Jeffrey Robinson Jr. gives a push to Tyler McMurder in the 84, puts the 84 car out front. They both slide in front of the 96 car. That's how you get it done in the second groove, the high groove at Daytona. Another caution, pit stops begin. Caleb Lopez took the lead before the pit stops, and we saw all sorts of strategy throughout the Daytona 500. A lot of 2-tire pit stops, fuel only, and it would continue throughout the race. They line up for the restart. Jordan Green leads them. Brian Wiggins with the push. Alan Richardson in the 74 car was tweeting on Twitter about his new paint job that he was going to run here for the Daytona 500, and there he is, riding in the 3rd position as they thunder down the back straightaway now. Brian Wiggins out front in the number 5 Tide Chevy, representing his own race team, Wood Dog Motorsports, having a great run and showed tremendous speed throughout the Daytona 500. More on him later. Caitlin Lohr slides into the 3rd position in the 48 car. Tyler in the 84 follows. She makes a move to the outside. And these drivers were not afraid to mix it up on the high line and try to make some passes up there. Saw a bit of a gap in between the top 4 and the drivers running 5th on back. Minor contact there with Michael Shoemaker in the 56. Tyler McMurder in the 84. Tyler would lose some spots, but he would not ultimately lose the draft. He would be okay. However, 2 drivers not quite okay. Daniel Harmon and Alan Richardson. You see them far back there in the frame. They were involved in an on-track incident, and this brought out the caution yet again here in the Daytona 500. These drivers would make pit stops. There goes Caitlin Lohr. She would win the race off pit road to take the race lead, or at least the top spot amongst the cars that did make pit stops. There you see Michael Shoemaker in the 56. Alan Richardson in the 74, both staying out to get track position. They will restart 1 and 2. Green flag back in the air. And by this point, you may not be seeing Ricky Bean in the orange number 51 Chevy having problems under the hood after being involved in a couple of on-track incidents, and he is done for the day. He will finish in the 13th position. There you see a battle for I believe the 4th position, and it goes the wrong way, the way you don't want it to go. Jerry Ashley in the 15 car goes around, hard contact with the inside wall. This would put us under the caution yet again here in the Daytona 500. Pit stops. And there you see what I was talking about with the pit strategy. You see 3 cars slice back onto the racetrack and stay out for the track position, and all of these drivers would come down pit road. On the restart, Jordan Green is the race leader, getting a heck of a push there from Ty Bond in the number 8 machine. The throwback Dale Earnhardt Jr. paint job looks awesome. Getting a hard push there from Daniel Harmon in the 62, Alan Richardson in the 74, Tyler McMurder all down on the inside line, and it's Jeffrey Robinson Jr. on the outside groove. Getting a push from Brian Wiggins in the 5. Now Caleb Lopez, Michael Shoemaker joining the parade of cars on the inside line. And that'll put 7 cars lined up on the inside. Later on in this run, contact between Brian Wiggins and Jeffrey Robinson Jr., and they cause the big one. Michael Shoemaker's involved. Tyler McMurder's involved, Daniel Harmon, Caleb Lopez. It was a 6-car pileup here going into turn 1. And this would bring out a caution. More problems later on in the race. Jerry Ashley, contact with a couple of cars, and he goes around. And they would line up double file for the restart. Jordan Green, Brian Wiggins, Tyler McMurder, Jeffrey Robinson Jr., Daniel Harmon, Alan Richardson, leading them to the line. There was a lot of action on the restarts in this event. Oh, Brian Wiggins gives a big push to the 84. The 84 then was pushed into the 96. Around went Jordan Green. Brian Wiggins lost a ton of track position as well. And the lead would change hands to Tyler McMurder in the 84 car. Michael Shoemaker in the 56 getting a heck of a push on the inside line from Jeffrey Robinson Jr. And he's able to clear Ty Bond for the 2nd position. And now there is a 4 or 5 car breakaway, or perhaps a 6 or 7 car pack now, leading the field here at Daytona. Caleb Lopez, Alan Richardson, and Caitlin Lohr all in the top 7 in this pack of cars. Later in the run, you can see that Alan Richardson gets into the back bumper of Jeffrey Robinson Jr., and around goes the 42 machine. That would put us under the yellow, and this is the end of stage number 2. You can see the drivers are taking their 10-minute break on the back straightaway. Stage 1 was won by Michael Shoemaker, Caitlin Lohr, Caleb Lopez, Alan Richardson, and Tyler McMurder all getting points from stage 1. Daniel Harmon winning stage 2, and Tyler McMurder, Ty Bond, Caleb Lopez, and Alan Richardson getting points in stage 2. Fast forward, these drivers getting a chance to make pit stops before the final stage of the Daytona 500, the 2019 Daytona 500. For more information, head over to NOSSCAR.com/Elite Series to see the final results, the all-time wins list, the current point standings, and more. Details on how to sign up and become a driver are available at the bottom of the home page. Lining up for the restart now for the final stage. Daniel Harmon in the 62, the pole winner, picking up where he left off early in this race. He's been involved in a couple of incidents, but now you see him leading this race. And it's a 3-wide battle deep in the field, just inside the top 10, the 84, the 25 of Rob Oglesby, Jerry Ashley in the 15, Jeffrey Robinson Jr. just in front of them now. And problems later on for Daniel Harmon in the 62 car, Brian Wiggins in the 5. They were involved in the same incident, but wrecking in 2 completely different spots on the racetrack. They would both continue, but we would be under caution, and pit stops would take place yet again. These pit crews were getting quite the workout throughout this Daytona 500 event. Lined up now, double file for the restart. Caitlin Lohr restarting on the outside of row 2. That's the best running position she's been so far in this race for a restart. The green flag in the air. Michael Shoemaker in the 56 leads them to the line. 11 of the 13 drivers that entered this event would lead at least one lap to get the bonus point. And it was Michael Shoemaker in the 56 car leading the most laps for that bonus point. You can see him out front right now, but here comes Alan Richardson in the 74 car, made a move to the outside. In 95, Caleb Lopez chose to not go with him. He stayed to the bottom, and now he's going to take second spot from the 74. And it's a dogfight for fourth on back. Brian Wiggins, Caitlin Lohr, Tyler McMurder, Ty Bond, Jeffrey Robinson Jr., Daniel Harmon, they're all right there. Michael Shoemaker still out front later in this race. Couple of cars losing the draft with the lead pack, that being Caitlin Lohr in the 48, Tyler McMurder in the 84. They would hook up and work together to try to make a charge to stay with them, but there you see them. Caleb Lopez leads the race. They would eventually be joined by Brian Wiggins in the 5 car, Daniel Harmon in the 62, Ty Bond in the 8. There you see. Pit stops yet again here. 4 cars staying on the racetrack, so this would be a race for the 5th position off pit road. Green flag back in the air with Michael Shoemaker leading the way in the 56 car, looking for his very first NOSSCAR Elite Series win. Late in the race, we would start to see the pairs of cars teaming up and trying to go back to the car of tomorrow form of racing at the plate tracks, if you will. Pairing up in partners of 2. Four-car battle for the race lead up front. Caleb Lopez, former NOSSCAR champion, takes the race lead for the restart. Daniel Harmon alongside him in the 62. These two drivers have a history not only of being perhaps enemies on the racetrack, foes, opponents if you will, but a history of success here in NOSSCAR at the restrictor plate racing. Daytona and Talladega, now they are on the front row for this restart. The green flag is in the air. Tyler McMurder giving a heck of a push to the 62 car on the outside, but he now tucks down to the inside, right in front of Ty Bond. Not sure if he was ready for that. Now Ty goes to the top. Oh, they're slicing and dicing. Now Caitlin Lohr, Brian Wiggins, teammates at Wood Dog Motorsports. Oh, and there was contact between the 56 and I believe the 25. I couldn't quite see, and they're 3 wide through 3 and 4. Rob Oglesby in the 25 thought better of that. He was 3 wide with the 5 and the 56, and he was on the outside line. Not exactly sure if that's where you want to be. I'm not sure if you want to be 3 wide for long at Daytona anyways. Out front it's Caleb, Daniel, Ty, Tyler, and Michael. That is your top 5, but it is a 10-car pack battling for the race lead. Oh, contact between the 5 and the 56. Looked like Brian in the 5 car slid up the track a little bit into him, and there's contact between the 74 and the 84. Allen giving the boot to the 8-time NASCAR champion Tyler McMurder. He went sideways there for a moment, gathered it back up, and it doesn't appear that any of these cars are going to lose the draft. In fact, this might help a couple of cars gain some ground on the front runners. Oh, in the 95, Caleb went up and made minor contact with the outside wall. And here comes Ty Bond in the 8 car to take the race lead in the throwback Dale Earnhardt Jr. paint job. Budweiser on the hood. Jerry Ashley in the 15 car, right in the thick of things here, and we have about an 8 car battle for the race lead. 8 cars in the lead pack. Side by side, 2 by 2 for first, second, third, and fourth. And the 84 is just there watching him. There was contact between the 62 and the 74. Around goes Daniel Harmon, and it looks like it was due to a connection issue. Alan Richardson in the 74 having some sort of connection issue, and that nearly cost the former NASCAR champion Daniel Harmon. He's still in the lead draft, just in front of Jerry Ashley in the 15. I think Jerry cut him a bit of a break and let him in line. But now they're both losing ground to the front runners. The top 6 are getting away, and they're all 2 by 2. Oh, and a big move. Alan Richardson looking for the race lead. The door was shut by Ty Bond. And Caleb Lopez is on the outside line looking for a push from Michael Shoemaker in the 56. And if he gets it, he's going to take the race lead. 4 cars on the bottom, 2 on top. Now there's 3 and 3. Everyone looking for a dance partner to win the Daytona 500. Oh, and contact between Brian Wiggins in the 5, Michael Shoemaker in the 56. Around went Michael in the 56 car. And Alan Richardson goes through the grass a little bit. Here we go, final restart to win the Daytona 500. Who's gonna do it? Michael Shoemaker in the 56, Caitlin Lohr in the 48. Lead them to the line, the green flag is in the air. Pardon me. Caitlin in the 48, she tucked down in line in the 3rd position behind the 84 machine. So it's Michael, Tyler, and Caitlin the top 3, with Jordan Green in 4th, Daniel Harmon taking 5th from Alan Richardson. It's the inside line moving, and we've seen that be the preferred line on the restarts all race long. Brian Wiggins went to go make a move to the outside. The block was thrown by Rob Oglesby in the 25. Who now goes to the outside to try to pass Alan Richardson in the 74. The top 5 stay the same. Oh, there's a bit of contact deeper in the field. It looked like Ty Bond was bouncing off the back bumper of Brian Wiggins in the 5 machine. And Jerry Ashley in the 15 got a little bit out of shape there, and Rob Oglesby had to take evasive action, and that might cost Jerry and Rob both the draft with the lead pack. Still Michael Shoemaker leads. Tyler McMurder right behind him in 2nd. Caitlin Lohr runs in 3rd. Jordan Green, defending NOSSCAR Elite Series champion, runs in the 4th position in that number 96 South Point Chevy. The 2 South Point Chevys running in 4th and 5th. Oh, Jordan Green looks to the outside of Caitlin Lord. Does he have any help? He almost did. Looked like Daniel Harmon was thinking about doing it as well. And this opened the door for Alan Richardson on the inside. He's going to look for the 5th position. Caleb Lopez takes the 6th position from Daniel Harmon, or does he? Looks like Ty Bond was going to give the draft to Daniel Harmon, but now Daniel tucks down to the inside, and they're going to try to freight train Allen in the 74. No one's really popping out of line in the top 3 or 4. They've been the same since the restart for the most part, and now Jordan Green, right as I say that, makes a move to the outside, and here comes Caleb Lopez to join him. Daniel Harmon going to do the same. Ty Bond going to choose his alliance with the inside line. Who's going to win the 2019 Daytona 500? Caleb Lopez takes the 2nd position. Jordan Green made the outside line work with Caleb and Daniel. Now Jordan Green is out front, looking to win the Daytona 500. Add to his already impressive resume and legacy here in the world of NASCAR eSport racing. He is a 5-time NASCAR champion. They're 2x2 from 1st all the way back to the 7th position. Contact between Michael in the 56, Jordan in the 96, and Caleb Lopez charges away with the race lead while they're all battling for 4th on back. And they're still rubbing against each other. Caleb has the lead, Daniel Harmon up to 2nd, Ty Bond in 3rd, and they're starting to wheel away from everybody else. And there's still contact between Jordan Green and Michael Shoemaker. Caitlin Lohr takes the 6th position. Tyler McMurder drops to 7th. So now the 2nd pack is being led by Jordan Green, and up front it's a battle for the Daytona 500 win between Caleb Lopez, Daniel Harmon, and Ty Bond. 3 wide for 4th, 5th, and 6th. Going down the back straightaway, contact was made. What a battle. Caitlin Lohr takes the 4th position, getting a big push from Tyler in the 84. They both get into the top 5. Michael Shoemaker trying to hold Jordan at bay. 56 and 96 running 6th and 7th. But up front it's all Caleb Lopez trying to hold the 62 and the 8 car, both of them in his rear view mirror. The top 3 cars all drive for 3 different race teams. And they're all trying to put their car in victory lane. The pit crews worked real hard all race long. Lots of pit stops, lots of restarts, a lot of action. Caitlin Lohr was having a wonderful race. She was inside the top 5 looking for a good finish, and she suddenly started to experience connection issues. And in the world of NASCAR, we usually call that engine problems. And she, as you can see, drops out of line, losing the 4th position, and she would eventually pull off the racetrack and finish outside the top 10. It was a It was a heartbreaking way to end the Daytona 500 for her. But the win would go to the former NOSSCAR champion, Caleb Lopez, in the number 95 car. Ty Bond in the 8 car made a move on Daniel Harmon to finish in second. Daniel Harmon will finish in third. Michael Shoemaker in the 56 car eventually gets around the 84 car to finish in fourth. And Tyler McMurder in the 84 car will round out the top 5 here in the Daytona 500. Jordan Green, Jerry Ashley, Rob Oglesby, Alan Richardson, and Brian Wiggins round out the rest of your top 10. Caitlin Lohr 11th, Jeffrey Robinson Jr. in 12th, and Ricky Bean in 13th. Michael Shoemaker wins stage 1, Daniel Harmon wins stage 2. Those are both valuable playoff points. And this has been the NOSSCAR Elite Series Daytona 500 highlight reel from Daytona International Speedway on NASCAR 15 Victory Edition on the PlayStation 3 console. Thank you so much for joining us. Hit the subscribe button to catch all the 2019 season action. And we will see you next Wednesday.